Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. The one who should admit defeat is you, Sun Lingtong. I'm going to reclaim all the humiliation I've endured over the years at your hands, the threats and temptations, the covert control and deception in this very battle today. Ningzhu bellowed, his fighting spirit incredibly fierce. The next moment, over 20 flying hands flew into midair and simultaneously cast spells on the golden blood battle ape, dashing. The onslaught of spells was extraordinarily powerful. Such an extreme configuration of the flying hands brought their attack strength to its limit. The golden blood battle ape, dashing, was overwhelmed by the dazzling surge of spells. It struggled fiercely, taking down nearly 10 flying hands, but in the end it collapsed, its body riddled with holes, a sight too ghastly to behold. "No, my mechanical battle ape! You little rat, you're dead meat!" Sun Lingtong shouted, his eyes spitting fire, glaring fiercely at Ningzhu, as if wishing he could devour him. Long accustomed to the black market's milieu and having been groomed by his master from a young age, Sun Lingtong's acting skills were by no means inferior. Ningzhu, fearless, sneered coldly, shouting excitedly, "Sun Lingtong, do you know how long I've been waiting for this day? You think I'm oblivious, but I've secretly investigated and studied your mechanical monkeys multiple times." The cultivators watching the battle erupted in surprise and cheered loudly at the result. In this period, Sun Lingtong was deemed invincible, truly too dominant. Unexpectedly, this time, Ningzhu managed to snatch victory by luck. Indeed, in the eyes of the cultivators, Ningzhu had only adopted an extreme strategy for the platform competition. He hadn't crafted a conventional mechanical puppet, but rather had put all his eggs in one basket, creating over 20 spell-casting flying hands. However, some astute observers took note of Ningzhu's excited declaration, mentioning his extensive research on the mechanical monkeys. Having done the research, why didn't Ningzhu share his valuable information from the start when the golden blood battle ape, dashing, first appeared? Could he have not shared it with everyone? If he had spoken up, perhaps they too could have defeated Sun Lingtong. This undoubtedly made everyone realize that even though Ningzhu had previously confessed and submitted to the law, he had concealed much information. This information could provide him some convenience. Like his victory in the platform competition, the information was of help. It was because he had a unique understanding of the golden blood battle ape, dashing, that he could determine the upper hand amidst the barrage and clinch victory. Thus, after the palace examination that day, there were emissaries who came forward to purchase information from Ningzhu. Ningzhu rebuffed all of them. When the second day of the palace examination came, everyone was surprised to find that Sun Lingtong no longer used the golden blood battle ape, dashing. With a dark face, Sun Lingtong always stared at Ningzhu, his eyes brimming with spite and fury, looking as though they might overflow at any moment. As a result, people surmised that in yesteryear's battle, Ningzhu had grievously damaged the mechanical monkey, rendering it unrepairable, at least for the short term. Ningzhu thus garnered even more admiration, and without the golden blood battle ape, dashing, people were less concerned about the little information they had about him. In the palace examinations that followed, Sun Lingtong stopped using the golden blood battle ape, dashing. His purpose was to achieve defeat and match Ningzhu's performance closely. Thus, on the leaderboard, the name Ningzhu and the entrance standard would not show a huge discrepancy. Should there be a discrepancy, and Ningzhu and Sun Lingtong's performances did not match, the cultivators would naturally guess the truth behind the name that didn't align with the person. The 20th question of the test. There was a 5-element spiritual conversion disc placed on the desk. Additionally, there were several other mechanical components. Whoever could design a suitable plan to utilize these mechanical components efficiently would certainly not fall behind in achievement. While others were preparing and trying out the functions of the components, Ningzhu picked up the 5-element spiritual conversion disc and used it with extreme familiarity. This scene did not escape the notice of many cultivators in the spectator seats. Starting from question 21, the test examined large-scale mechanical artifacts and allowed cultivators to choose an external person to serve as an assistant in refining the mechanical artifacts for the palace examination. The 22nd question of the test. The test provided another mechanical component, the blood path diagram plate. Once again, Ning Zhu started effortlessly, almost using it as soon as he picked it up. Ning Zioran was chosen by him to serve as an assistant. He ordered Ning Zioran to provide essence blood, and with this essence blood, Ning Zhu employed the demon-infused bloodline technique to create the blood path diagram plate. Not enough, not enough. More, give me more. I want even more. Under Ning Zhu's relentless demands, Ning Zioran's complexion swiftly turned pale. With a look of horror, he exclaimed, "A person's essence blood is finite. Ning Zhu, if you keep this up, I will die." Ning Zhu's eyes held a chilly indifference. "Ning Zioran, didn't you want to achieve great things? Haven't you confessed and sworn to atone for your sins? If so, this is your best chance to redeem yourself." Ning Zioran paled in shock. "Do you want to kill me?" "Follow my orders," Ning Zhu bellowed. "No, no." Ning Zioran scrambled backward in panic, but there was no escape on the platform. Ning Zhu sneered, "It's not up to you whether you want to die or not." He fiercely turned his gaze toward another platform, where Ning Jiyufan and the Ning family clan leader stood. "Clan leader, Ning Zioran is your son. Do you think he should sacrifice himself for the family?" Ning Zhu called out loudly. Many cultivators turned their heads to look. This scene was quite interesting. The Ning family clan leader's face turned ashen with struggle, and after much agony, he finally said, "My son, indeed it's time for you to make a sacrifice for our family. Don't bring shame upon our main lineage." Ning Zhu burst out laughing. "Father!" Ning Zioran cried out in disbelief, filled with terror and bewilderment. However, contrary to the Ning family clan leader's expectations, Ning Zhu didn't actually kill Ning Zioran but drained him until he was at death's door. When the imperial trial concluded that day, Ning Zhu, carrying the unconscious Ning Zioran, went to meet Ning Jiyufan. By Ning Jiyufan's side, the Ning family clan leader was desperately explaining himself, stuttering and sweating profusely. Seeing Ning Zhu approach, the Ning family clan leader could not hold back and furiously scolded, "Ning Zhu, how dare you deceive me?" It turned out that through hints from the dragon turtle fire spirit, Ning Zhu had long known of Ning Zioran's involvement in the kidnapping case. He had quietly collected enough evidence and was blackmailing the Ning family clan leader. The Ning family clan leader then realized the enormity of Ning Zioran's crimes in colluding with outsiders to harm his own family members, an unforgivable offense. Hence, in broad daylight, when Ning Zhu was extracting blood to the point of killing Ning Zioran, although his expression showed much hesitation and struggle, he ultimately spoke out, urging Ning Zioran to sacrifice his life. As a result, after the trial ended, he was severely reprimanded by Ning Jiyufan, who had been in on the truth of Ning Zioran's collusion. It was then that the Ning family clan leader realized that Ning Jiyufan had long been aware of Ning Zioran's crimes. Ning Zhu bowed deeply, greeting Ning Jiyufan, and simply said, "Great ancestor, the wager was mine to win." Ning Jiyufan glanced at the colorless Ning family clan leader with an utterly indifferent tone. "To sacrifice your own son for your power and position, having a clan leader like you is truly a fortune for our Ning family." Thud. The Ning family clan leader fell to the ground, his gaze becoming vacant with fright. "Our Ning family is a cultivation family, bound by affection and bloodline. You'd rather hold on to your power and position than help your son escape control and return to the light. You have truly disappointed me." After berating the Ning family clan leader, Ning Jiyufan looked toward Ning Zhu with a complex expression. He wanted to persuade, but seeing Ning Zhu's resolute eyes, he eventually opened his storage waist belt and took out the bloodline umbilical cord, the Ning family plaque, and the worship plaque position. "Take it, my collateral branch clan leader." Ning Zhu, overjoyed, quickly accepted them, verifying their authenticity on the spot and respectfully bowing to Ning Jiyufan. "The trial isn't over yet. I won't establish the branch immediately to avoid family turmoil. Great ancestor, I will still need your protection after the new branch is founded." Ning Jiyufan snorted coldly. "Get out, you troublesome boy. You never give us a moment's peace. Lord Zhu is already outside your door. He came specifically to see you. You may speak or remain silent about certain matters. Remember, you are now the branch clan leader of our Ning family." Ning Zhu swiftly thanked him and respectfully took his leave. Ning Zhu arrived in the courtyard and encountered Zhu Xuanji. Zhu Xuanji still wore a bright red brocade robe with black embroidery on the edges. his square face expressionless as he scrutinized Ningxiu from head to toe, his piercing gaze seeming to penetrate straight to the heart. Ningxiu was well prepared for Zhu Xuanji's uninvited arrival. More precisely, this was all part of his own design. During the palace examination, Ningxiu had deliberately revealed many things. For instance, in the beginning, he fought against Sun Lingtong by utilizing multiple floating mechanical puppets, severely damaging the golden blood battle ape Dasheng, to the extent that Sun Lingtong could no longer bring out Yuan Dasheng, leading to a drastic drop in his achievements. This battle demonstrated Ningxiu's familiarity with the golden blood battle ape Dasheng. Astute observers realized that Ningxiu knew a lot of insider information. Afterwards, Ningxiu openly used the 5-element spiritual conversion disc without showing any transition from unfamiliarity to familiarity, indicating his early familiarity with this mechanical component. In the most recent palace examination, he directly employed the blood path diagram plate, revealing even deeper knowledge of the demon-infused bloodline technique. He used these advantages in the palace examination to bolster his impressive record. These were also baits thrown out by Ningxiu, which many cultivators and powers eagerly took, contacting him secretly and offering high prices to purchase them. But Ningxiu rejected all of them. This bait was primarily meant to lure Zhu Xuanji. Once Ningxiu had dealt with his bet with Ning Jiufan, Zhu Xuanji finally took the initiative to come to him. Facing divine hunter Zhu once again, Ningxiu felt far less pressure than he had at the Siyu Garden. By then, he had confessed and submitted to the law, eliminating several vulnerabilities. More crucially, through various manipulations and strategies, he had elevated his status within the righteous path to a new height, clan leader of a branch of the Ning family. This was a high-ranking position within a cultivator family. Becoming a clan leader of a branch during the Qi refinement realm was unimaginable under normal circumstances. But Ningxiu had seized the opportunities given by fate, repeatedly using the Lava Fairy Palace and the Palace Examination to elevate his own worth, ultimately making this happen. Previously, Ningxiu had maintained 2 disguises, one as a talented youth from a branch of the Ning family, and the other as the Black Market Master. When it came to Siyu Garden, Zhu Xuanji had found it very easy to go against him. But now, Ningxiu had obtained a 3rd identity, clan leader of a branch family of the Ning family. This forced Zhu Xuanji to be more cautious. If it were a cultivator from the demon path or an evil sect, they wouldn't care about these identities. But Zhu Xuanji was a cultivator of the righteous path, a member of the royal family, inherently respecting established rules, especially now when he relied on the alliance of the Zhou family, Ning family, and Zheng family to counter the Meng family and Bukong sect, helping him strive for the position of Palace Master of the Lava Fairy Palace. Ningxiu knew that although his cultivation level hadn't changed, his status had greatly improved, thus shifting the dynamics of his interaction with Zhu Xuanji. He greeted Zhu Xuanji with a bow, first respectfully saying hello, then subtly expressing that his time was limited, hoping for a concise discussion during their interaction. Zhu Xuanji laughed heartily, pointing a finger at Ningxiu. Just ascended as the clan leader of a branch family, and already feeling so pompous. A guilty appearance of a petty man reaches its peak in your current expression. Ningxiu also smiled. Lord Zhu, this is the culmination of all my exhaustive efforts, striving to my utmost. If I don't show it off a bit, wouldn't that be letting down all my previous hard work? This sincere demeanor actually made Ningxiu appear more genuine and not deceitful. Zhu Xuanji thought quite highly of Ningxiu. On one hand, he felt a sense of accomplishment. He believed he had given Ningxiu a push, steering this young talent toward the righteous path. On the other hand, during the palace examination, Ningxiu's severe defeat of the golden blood battle ape Dasheng had proven a significant achievement by causing Sun Lingtong's record to plummet. And importantly, whenever Ningxiu encountered Zhu Xuanji or Ning Jiufan during the palace examination, he would willingly concede. This attitude aligned perfectly with Zhu Xuanji's desires. This was why Zhu Xuanji had long realized that Ningxiu had concealed much information. Despite his previous confession and submission to the law, he had not revealed the full truth, yet Zhu Xuanji had still waited until now before querying. Zhu Xuanji stared into Ningxiu's eyes. Speaking of which, I haven't thanked you yet. It was thanks to your concession in the second round of the palace examination. Ning Zhu hurriedly waved his hand. My lord, you flatter me too much. I dare not accept such praise. My 5 elements pawn, in terms of power and effectiveness, can't compare to your mechanical puppet. You didn't need me to concede. I was bound to lose anyway. Admitting defeat ahead of time saved both time and energy. Zhu Xuanji clasped his hands behind his back. Ning Zhu, tell me the truth. Does your Ning family desire this immortal palace? Let me be blunt. If your Ning family has such intentions, I can also lend my support and voluntarily step aside, allowing you to control this precious item. Among the 3 major families in Fire Persimmon Immortal City, the Zhou family and Zheng family have deep roots, while your Ning family, hailing from North Wind Country, has an unstable foundation, making it the perfect ally for my Southern Bean royal family to form alliances and counterbalance the local powers. Ning Zhu did not hesitate for a moment, laughing ruefully. Lord Zhu, since you are candid, let me also speak frankly. It's not like I haven't entertained the idea. However, the Lava Fairy Palace is too damaged. With its current decay, the cost of repairs would be horrendously high. Our Ning family's resources can hardly bear it. Even more frightening is the ongoing palace examination and the increasingly fierce demon beast tide, which will definitely lead to further decay of the immortal palace. Whichever side obtains it will have to pay an enormous price to restore it. For the Ning family, I believe that it's most beneficial and prudent for us to help you, Lord, achieve the ultimate victory and establish good relations with the royal family. Zhu Xuanji nodded and said nothing more. Ning Zhu exhaled a heavy breath. He knew that Zhu Xuanji did not truly wish to give up the position of palace master. Even if he were serious, Zhu Xuanji actually had no right to give it up, as there was still a 3rd round of tests after the second one. It would be foolish for Ning Zhu to show interest in the position of palace master. By saying these words, Zhu Xuanji was hinting to Ning Zhu not to develop desires inappropriate to his status, just because he had become a clan leader of a branch family. He was also reminding Ning Jiufan not to covet things he shouldn't have. This was like the words Ning Jiufan had said to Ning Zhu earlier in the room. There are things you can say, and things you can leave unsaid. Remember, you are already a clan leader of the Ning family. These words were directed at Ning Zhu, but also meant for the Golden Core cultivator Zhu Xuanji in the courtyard. Much of the communication among the higher-ups is like this, gentle and implicit. Satisfied with the attitude Ning Zhu displayed, Zhu Xuanji finally got to the point. You must be aware of my purpose in seeking you out. Ning Zhu sighed deeply and once more bowed to Zhu Xuanji. With his present confidence, he could afford to be somewhat outspoken. Lord Zhu, I indeed had things I chose to conceal before. Truly, there are many things that are difficult to say outright. I had anticipated today's situation, and after much contemplation, I prepared something. This is the limit of what I can do. As he spoke, Ning Zhu took out a piece of paper from his bosom and handed it to Zhu Xuanji. Zhu Xuanji took it, unfolded the paper on the spot, and saw a poem written on it. Alone I stand amid white clouds high. The clouds drift past distant mountains under the endless moonlit sky. Together with the moon we pledge a century's bond. Though man may strategize, heaven determines the outcomes beyond. He slightly furrowed his brow, then relaxed it soon after, giving Ning Zhu a nod. Whether Ning Zhu truly had a contract with the Bukong sect that he couldn't speak of or he chose to continue keeping some intelligence for his benefit, Zhu Xuanji chose to accept it. Immediately, he lifted a finger, emitted a wisp of mana, and summoned flames. The piece of paper thrown into the air was instantly ignited and quickly turned to ash. Zhu Xuanji turned and walked away. The dragon turtle fire spirit had taken an increased interest in Zhu Xuanji recently. When Zhu Xuanji arrived at Ning Zhu's residence, he immediately caught its attention. The entire interaction between Ning Zhu and Zhu Xuanji was monitored by the dragon turtle fire spirit. Naturally, it also noticed the poem on the paper. It became puzzled. What does this all mean? The dragon turtle fire spirit grew restless, and after some thought, it took the initiative to contact Ning Zhu. Young master, are you all right? It began by feigning concern, then started inquiring about the paper and the purpose of the poem. Rest assured, I merely employed a tactic, and once again he was dismissed. The dragon turtle fire spirit continued to probe about the meaning of the poem. Ning Zhu laughed. Ha ha, that cannot be said, cannot be said. He swiftly changed the subject. Haven't you been wanting to bombard the gourd fire furnace forest and directly demolish the golden furnace ruins? I have made up my mind to do just that. It will take place soon. You must be ready at all times to heed my call. The dragon turtle fire spirit was overjoyed. It had been worrying about how to convince Ningzhu to carry out this plan recently. Ningzhu couldn't handle the pressure any longer and agreed to the terms. After dispatching Zhu Xuanji and stalling the dragon turtle fire spirit, Ningzhu began gathering his subordinates. Soon, Ning Xiangyu, Ning Xiangqian, Ning Chen, Ning Yang, and others were assembled. Ningzhu unveiled the Ning family's plaque and the memorial tablet he'd obtained before them. The crowd was overjoyed. It's done, the separation from the clan has finally happened. Boss, you're unbelievable. Clan leader, we can now establish our own branch. The atmosphere in the hall was exuberant. Ningzhu, wearing a smile, gave everyone ample time to express their joy. When the clamor subsided, he turned to one person in the hall and said, "Turtle Shell Gang Leader, have you compiled all the intelligence you've gathered?" The Turtle Shell Gang Leader was skilled in espionage, and Ningzhu had specifically assigned him to infiltrate the palace. Turtle Shell replied immediately, "I've collected most of what the Ning family members have been saying and doing during this period. There might be some omissions, but I've recorded everyone who believed rumors or who quietly incited and belittled you, young master." The atmosphere in the hall instantly quieted. Ningzhu took a gentle sip of tea, slowly placing the cup back down before speaking. "Very good, very good." He looked at everyone in the hall. "My uncle, having lost his son, is somewhat justified in his actions. He wants to use public opinion to avenge his son's death. However, many of the side branch family members who follow him and are stirred up by him have sinister intentions. Even if they are just foolish, that's enough to prove that they are not the sort of people we should consider bringing into our fold. What do you think?" The crowd was speechless. With a faint smile, Ningzhu exerted a significant psychological pressure on them. Within just a few breaths, Ning Chen's back was soaked with sweat. Ningzhu continued, "The matter of our separation and establishment of a new branch must be kept secret. I need to take some time to see exactly who is not one with us." The crowd quickly expressed their understanding. Although they had been eager to create the new branch immediately, Ningzhu's reasoning was sound and valid, leaving no room for objection. "I have some tasks for you." Ningzhu took out a crystal stone. This was a top-grade spirit crystal given to him by Zhu Xuanji. Its ice attribute spiritual power had been depleted. Ningzhu ordered his subordinates to set up an array, contribute their own mana, refine it into ice attribute spiritual power, and infuse it back into the spirit crystal. The subordinates accepted the order and left excitedly. The prospect of the clan's separation excited them. They were eager to perform well and complete the tasks Ningzhu assigned, to secure a higher position in the new branch. Ningzhu kept the Turtle Shell Gang leader back until last, giving him special instructions to keep a close watch on Zhu Xuanji's movements. Tasked with the surveillance of a golden core cultivator, Turtle Shell felt the pressure, but had no choice but to comply. Only when Ningzhu was alone did he let out a deep sigh. His striving for clan separation was simply to eliminate any weak points. His use of the excuse to assess the situation and postpone the establishment of a new branch was also to avoid implicating people like Ning Chen and Ning Yang. Even towards Ning Xiangyu, the spy, Ningzhu had developed some affection after a long association. Ningzhu did not know if he would succeed in his next move. He needed to distance himself from everyone now, lest the future turn sour and he became a wanted criminal, dragging them down with him. Fierce flames blazed fiercely, the intense heat twisting the atmosphere. Magma boiled, and suddenly a flame demon beast as big as a small mountain, nascent soul-level flame-stepping lizard, burst forth. It launched a sudden attack from the south, fiercely slamming into the lava fairy palace. Meanwhile, in the opposite direction to the north, a nascent soul-level runaway fire snake wrapped in fierce flames opened its mouth to spew out a torrent of flames. The unbearably hot flames roasted the spherical light shield of the lava fairy palace. The shield was already damaged, and under the dual assault of the two nascent soul-level demon beasts, cracks proliferated, the situation looking extremely grim. "Demonic beasts!" Meng Kui let out a cold shout. Spell, mystique in the palm. Large handprints converged from all sides, 2 by 2, one pair aimed at each of the nascent soul-level demon beasts in the south and north. The runaway fire snake hissed, twisting its massive body to dodge the attack. The flame-stepping lizard, however, did not flinch or dodge, resisting the smack of the big handprint while continuing its ferocious assault on the spherical light shield. The immortal palace shook. Under the fierce attack of the flame-stepping lizard, the nearest mechanical buildings collapsed consecutively. The ground cracked, and then a corner of the palace separate from the main body, tumbling into the magma below. The magma, stirred up by the fall of a corner of the palace, surged in giant waves toward the broken walls and remnants outside the palace. A large amount of lava, taking advantage of the still unsealed spherical light shield, spread within the lava fairy palace, burning more buildings and creating a scene full of devastation. In the depths of the clouds of smoke, Meng Kui gazed deeply, his face expressionless. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, battle erupted within the inner circle of the lava fairy palace. The black shadow demon cultivator appeared again, pursuing Yang Chanyu. The shock from the impact of the nascent soul demon beasts had already awakened nearly all the cultivators within the palace. The battle between Black Shadow Demon Cultivator and Yang Chanyu immediately captured the wide attention of the cultivators. A streak of golden light, like a long rainbow, tore through the sky, rapidly approaching the battlefield between Yang Chanyu and Black Shadow Demon Cultivator. Seeing this familiar flight light, everyone knew without a doubt it was Zhuge Xuanji. Flame demon beasts of Qi refining level and foundation establishment level, once again united into waves, threw themselves toward the inner circle of the lava fairy palace. The opportunity has come, Zhuge Xuanji silently commanded. Thus, members of the 3 renovation teams, who held positions at the command platform and 5 elements turret, collaborated to execute the command. Under their influence, only a few mechanical artifacts remained in the front, blocking the demon beasts from approaching the gourd fire furnace forest. The dragon turtle fire spirit, in a rush, urgently contacted Ning Zhuo. Ning Zhuo's second-rank position still held, his commands overshadowing everyone from the 3 renovation teams. Thus, a large number of mechanical artifacts gathered toward the direction of the fire furnace forest, with 5 elements cannonballs raining down intensively, continuously covering the demon beast tide. However, under Ning Zhuo's intentional laxity, a flame demon beast still breached the defenses and entered the golden furnace ruins. The real Zhuge Xuanji suddenly appeared, and amidst the dragon turtle fire spirit's shrieks, he followed into the golden furnace ruins. The previous Zhuge Xuanji was not the real person, but was impersonated by Zhu Zhen. The dragon turtle fire spirit could not constantly watch Zhuge Xuanji, as it had to take charge of the vast defenses of the immortal palace, combating the endless assaults of demon beasts. Therefore, it did not detect in advance that Zhu Zhen and Zhuge Xuanji had secretly swapped places. Young master, strike now, quick, quick. We mustn't let Zhuge Xuanji find any clues. At this moment, the dragon turtle fire spirit felt its heart in its throat, even though it had no heart. Ning Zhuo gritted his teeth, resolute. Zhuge Xuanji, you forced my hand. With the dragon turtle fire spirit's cooperation, he fully launched the attacks of the 5 elements turret, with 5 elements cannonballs falling like a fierce storm, comprehensively covering the golden furnace ruins. Boom, boom, boom. Amid the intense bombardment, Zhuge Xuanji forcibly held out temporarily. He knew that at this very moment, he had to race against time. Time was extremely limited, and he could only choose one furnace to investigate. The 2nd golden furnace, the 3rd golden furnace, and the 4th golden furnace had all been destroyed, containing extremely valuable clues. Zhuge Xuanji hesitated for a moment, but ultimately chose the 2nd golden furnace. The reason stemmed from the riddle poem given by Ning Zhuo. Having seen the poem just once, Zhuge Xuanji deduced the answer was 2. Zhuge Xuanji believed that Ning Zhuo was referring to the 2nd golden furnace. He rushed towards the ruins of the 2nd golden furnace, his palm making contact, and with great difficulty, he used the trace-back technique. Under the innate golden eye, he witnessed the following scene. The door of the 2nd golden furnace stood open, the teleportation circles spewing out countless materials. These materials were of exceptional quality, with the lowest being at golden core level and the highest at nascent soul level. Among them, a sight that instantly captivated the eyes was a Gyalong's body. It was extremely magnificent and radiant, crafted entirely like a crystal, with red and orange flames shimmering within the crystal, burning silently and dangerously, yet revealing an unbelievable beauty. Seeing this scene, Zhu Xuanji's pupils sharply contracted. Then he saw all these materials being thrown into the golden furnace. The door of the golden furnace closed, ignition for refining started, and the furnace emitted the hissing sounds of the Jiaolong. The refining process did not last long. Cracks quickly multiplied on the surface of the golden furnace, and by the end of the refining, when the flames extinguished, it simply disintegrated into a pile of debris. Dragon claws were sharp and could morph to a significant degree, retracting completely into the dragon's body. The dragon's tail moved spiritedly, its floating tendrils concealing flames, often leaving a trail of fire in the air with each flick. Mechanism, 10,000 Li traveling dragon. Zhu Xuanji quickly recognized it. It was a very classic mechanical artifact. From the mundane levels 1 centimeter dormant worm to the qi refining levels 10-inch startled snake, the foundation establishment levels 100 feet coiling python, the golden core levels 1,000 fathoms coiling jiao, up to the nascent soul levels 10,000 Li traveling dragon. The 10,000 Li traveling dragon could expand and contract, moved swiftly, and maintained powerful momentum, making it an outstanding transport mechanism treasure. The past images suddenly stopped. But Zhu Xuanji had an epiphany. Ning Zhu's hint was invaluable. I understand now. There's a problem with the dragon turtle fire spirit. Zhu Xuanji sadly glanced at the third and fourth golden furnace ruins, which had been devastated under the barrage of cannon fire. Zhu Xuanji could no longer sustain himself there and had to temporarily withdraw. Did he find anything? The dragon turtle fire spirit fretted. The bombardment was too intense, preventing it from observing the situation inside. It was utterly unaware of Zhu Xuanji's actions inside. The bombardment continued fiercely for a while before it finally ceased. The original site of the golden furnace ruins had turned into a deep pit surrounded by devastation. As Zhu Xuanji had expected, Zhu Zhen returned without achieving anything. In a private conversation, Zhu Xuanji transmitted to Zhu Zhen the findings of his reconnaissance and his deductions about the palace spirit. Zhu Zhen was perplexed and directly asked Zhu Xuanji how he deduced this. Zhu Xuanji sighed and said, "You aren't aware of the past circumstances of the lava fairy palace or the situation of the first golden furnace." He explained to Zhu Zhen, telling him about the royal secrets he had witnessed in the royal capital hundreds of years ago. Fire Persimmon Mountain had just erupted, with lava covering the ground and poisonous smoke blocking the sky, making life unbearable and resulting in a massacre. A master from the three temples, clad in a white monk's robe as pure as snow, his garments fluttering in the wind, slowly descended from the sky. His face was composed, like an ancient pine, with eyebrows full of compassion and depth, possessing an extraordinary composure. Another magnificent golden rainbow tore through the sky, landing close and transforming into a strikingly beautiful woman. She wore a lustrous golden phoenix robe, radiant and adorned with dazzling pearls and gems, exuding dignity and authority. Her phoenix eyes contained a killing intent as she stared intensely at the temple master, her words filled with deep resentment and reprimand. "You faithless man, you have finally returned. Since you have come to my domain, why did you not visit me in the royal capital? Do you know how ardently I have awaited your return?" The temple master did not turn his head, only gazing down at the scorching mountain land below him, his tone extremely tranquil. "Southern Emperor, many years ago, I already made it clear to you. Our emotional ties were severed, mutual comfort no better than forgetting each other between heaven and earth." The woman was none other than the founding empress of Southern Bean, who sharply retorted, "You say it's over and it's over. I disagree. For so many years, do you know how deeply I've missed you? I even changed the name of my country to Southern Bean. Southern beans grow in the southern country, bloom in several branches in spring. I wish you would pick more, for they represent the deepest longing. Sanlang, I don't believe you haven't missed me over these years." At this point, the Southern Bean Empress's voice trembled slightly, and tears welled up in her eyes. The temple master shook his head, sighing deeply, and pulled a mechanical model from his bosom. He tossed it lightly, and the model flew up in the air, rapidly transforming into a vastly huge immortal palace, blocking the sunlight and casting a vast shadow over the earth. The palace, with its red bricks and golden columns, stood majestic and splendid. It was the Lava Fairy Palace. Seeing this, the Southern Bean Empress immediately showed delight, her voice turning even softer. Sanlang, you indeed remember our past. In the beginning, we were as harmonious as a chin and sea, living together day and night, jointly building this mechanical travel palace. You designed the layout and laid the foundations. Meanwhile, I sculpted statues delicately and meticulously. We spent such beautiful times in this traveling palace, and we can still continue. Sanlang, I have founded a nation now. My long-held wish is fulfilled. Come back, let's live together just like old times. The temple master always faced away from the Southern Bean Empress, making no reply, only using his Dharma eye to closely observe Fire Persimmon Mountain below. The Southern Bean Empress slowly floated, attempting to get closer, yet she was blocked by an invisible barrier of energy. Sanlang, the Empress called out, her emotions genuine and profound. The temple master turned a deaf ear, his gaze suddenly fixed, his mind slightly stirred. Instantly, the Lava Fairy Palace emitted a bursting radiance, piercing through the mountain, sinking deep into the magma. An agonized roar from a Jiao dragon echoed sharply, and a nascent soul-level fire-walking Jiao charged out of Fire Persimmon Mountain furiously. Under the compassionate gaze of the Southern Bean Empress, the fire-walking Jiao courageously charged towards the Lava Fairy Palace. It intended to collapse the palace in one fell swoop. The temple master spread his hands lightly. The body of the fire-walking Jiao dragon in the air shrunk rapidly, until it was caught in the hands of the temple master as a tiny snake, less than 3 inches long. The fire-walking Jiao struggled fiercely, but could never escape the temple master's grasp. The Lava Fairy Palace slowly descended, like a mountain toppling, pressing down the air, accompanied by a thunderous sound. The temple master sat cross-legged in the sky, now gazing down at the Lava Fairy Palace. He pinched the neck of the fire-walking Jiao softly, extracting the soul of the fire-walking Jiao. "Go!" said the temple master with a slight flick of his finger. The soul of the nascent soul-level fire-walking Jiao, like a meteor chasing the moon, shot directly into the first golden furnace. Cremation Prajna Spirit Liberation Sutra. Mighty flames roared fiercely, consuming all within moments, causing the golden furnace to collapse, and out came the dragon turtle fire spirit. Southern Bean Empress stood by as a spectator, and upon seeing the dragon turtle fire spirit, she couldn't help but falter slightly. It clearly started as a Jiao snake, so why does its spiritual nature seem akin to a dragon turtle? Initially bewildered, the dragon turtle fire spirit soon burst into an angry roar towards the 3 monks. One of the monks reached out and grasped the dragon turtle fire spirit, pulling it into the palm of his hand. The dragon turtle fire spirit was compressed to a minuscule size, looking up at the 3 monks as a mere mortal would gaze at towering pillars and Buddha. The monk slowly spoke. "In 800 years, the slaughter of heaven and earth will unfold, sweeping across the universe, blood swaying like pendulums, corpses sprawled everywhere. Where the dragon snakes rise, kings will frequently emerge. Saints will descend to purify the world. You, the fire-walking Jiao snake, are the quintessence of 10,000 soul powers, born amid endless fire poison of the mountain, shaped by geothermal energy. You inherently carry heavy sins. If left to your natural growth, you would be slain by a newly risen king, your intrinsic essence serving as his material, contributing to his imperial conquest. Today, I grant you salvation once. Henceforth, you shall serve as the palace spirit, controlling the immortal palace, guarding the Persimmon Fire Mountain. As long as from now on, Persimmon Fire Mountain remains harmonious and no innocent suffers from chaos. Just wait 720 years, and you will have cleared your innate sins, shedding your turtle shell to truly possess the spirit of a Jiao dragon. Look!" The monk slightly raised his palm, signaling the dragon spirit to observe its former snake body. Though a fire-walking Jiao, it possessed immortal aptitude. When its life reached the nascent soul level, its immortal aptitude would naturally transform into a divine power spirit gathering into crystal. This divine skill could collect spiritual energy, continuously compressing it until it reaches its limit and turns into solid crystal stones, thus forming spirit crystals. The body lineage of the runaway fire snake was inherently composed of intangible flames. Yet it wasn't ordinary. compressing its fire attribute spiritual energy continuously, spirit gathering into crystal, transforming into a sturdy Jiao snake body. The monk continued, "Your body, reserved for you, only you can use it. Upon fulfilling 720 years, you may utilize the lava fairy palace to construct a mechanical hull with it, free yourself from the cage, and wander freely between heaven and earth." Having finished explaining, the monk gently threw the dragon turtle fire spirit into the great hall of the Immortal Palace, placing the fire crystal Jiao body into the palace's treasury. The monk pointed towards the persimmon fire mountain with his index finger. Consequentially, the lava fairy palace began to descend rapidly. Seeing the testimonial object of love between herself and the monk about to sink into the mountain to suppress the volcano, Southern Bean Empress couldn't help but exclaim, "Sanlang, must you really do this? How merciless of you! Where is your love? You once said, even if you entered the Buddhist sect, you would still possess love." The monk put his palms together and chanted, "Thus have I heard. The Tathagata is compassionate, spreading great love, reaching beyond all boundaries. Great love from the heart source of Buddha is the welfare of all beings. If a bodhisattva harbors great love, all under heaven and earth are kin. No high nor low, all are beings cared for equally, offered selflessly. Therefore, the bodhisattva views the suffering of all beings as their own. Their heart is vast as the ocean, compassion boundless." Southern Bean Empress, full of anger, interrupted. "Sanlang, stop reciting." The monk sighed. "This is the great love of the Buddhist sect, not the love of desires." Southern Bean Empress snapped, "I don't understand." The monk paused briefly. "Love is compassion." Hesitating for a moment, he added, "Love is letting go." As he spoke, the lava fairy palace had already descended onto the summit of Persimmon Fire Mountain. "Sanlang!" Southern Bean Empress stared sorrowfully at the monk, crying mournfully, "I can't let go." Yet the monk maintained his palms together. Under his drooping eyelids, his gaze seemed to pierce through a millennium. He softly intoned, "Golden furnace red fire refines the spirit, immortal palace burial mountain aids the world. I advise the Southern Emperor to release her obsessions. Old feelings drift away like smoke, clearing former dust. All beings suffer from heavy desires, mistaking themselves the masters in puppet bodies. Buddha's compassion constitutes great love. Letting go of barriers makes the path complete." Southern Bean Empress was utterly heartbroken, shedding tears of despair. Yet her pride as an empress prevented her from fleeing. She gritted her teeth, forcefully channeling her mana, extracting a treasure from the palace. The treasure fell into her hands, revealing its true form, a mirror surrounded by a vividly lifelike golden phoenix, exquisitely beautiful. It was indeed the golden phoenix mirror. The monk felt a stir in his heart, and for the first time, subtly shifted his body to look towards Southern Bean Empress. Southern Bean Empress grimly said, "This is my belonging. I don't intend to contribute to your compassion." But the monk merely shook his head slightly. "Southern Emperor, you weren't destined to be a ruler, yet you established a domain, relying on my life hanging divine power. If you leave behind the golden phoenix mirror, it means repaying the cause and effect. This, for you, is ultimately a good thing." Southern Bean Empress was momentarily stunned, then emotionally responded, "Indeed, Sanlang, you really have me in your heart." The monk seemed moved, his eyes twinkling. "So it is, so it is." Saying this, he drew a treasure seal from his bosom. The magic treasure seal, resembling gold and jade, embodied both Buddha and demon on its two sides. With the Buddha's side compassionate and the demon's head fierce, it was indeed extraordinarily unique. It was the Buddha Heart Demon Seal. The monk directly threw the treasure seal into the Immortal Palace. Southern Bean Empress was shocked. "Sanlang, how could you discard such a precious treasure? How will you protect yourself later?" "I shouldn't have been rash. I'll return the golden phoenix mirror now. Please retrieve the treasure seal quickly." The monk, however, changed from his seated posture, stood up, and just before leaving, he slightly turned. "The cause and effect are settled. Since you took this golden phoenix mirror, henceforth, please protect the legacy of the Immortal Palace on my behalf." With those words, his figure was like drifting feathers, his shadow light yet swift as lightning, vanishing into the depths of the sky within a blink, resembling a wisp of blue smoke disappearing into the heavens. Southern Bean Empress, suppressed by an invisible force, unable to move, could only watch in despair as the monk's silhouette disappeared into the horizon. Her heart was devastated. She screamed hoarsely, "Sanlang!" Her voice, mournful, resonating like the cry of a cuckoo shedding blood, reverberated through the heavens and earth, rending hearts and shattering souls. Gu Zhen, upon hearing Zhu Xuanji's account, suddenly realized and understood the reasons behind Zhu Xuanji's earlier deductions. The dragon turtle fire spirit must have been extraordinary to be valued by the three superior sects. Its soul was refined using the first golden furnace. Its Jiaolong body was created at the expense of the second golden furnace. Now, not even 720 years have passed, yet the dragon turtle fire spirit used its own serpent body as the main material to create a nascent soul-level mechanical artifact, a 10,000-li traveling dragon. Gu Zhen reasoned, the lava fairy palace is like a prison to it. It can no longer bear the days of serving as the palace spirit, hence it seeks to break out. And to escape, it must break its prison, which is to destroy the lava fairy palace itself. That's exactly it. The reason why the lava fairy palace continues to decay and open up selection processes to outsiders, with ever-lowering standards. Zhu Xuanji let out a deep sigh. The current situation has become quite tricky. Gu Zhen did not understand. Zhu Xuanji continued to communicate telepathically, revealing more secrets. During his time in the royal family's secret vault, he saw not only the scene of the Immortal Palace burial mountain, there were other images as well. The dying emperor of the Southern Bean Kingdom left a testament, warning the posterity. After her tireless efforts and countless probes in her later years, she made many new and significant discoveries regarding the Lava Fairy Palace and the three superior sects. The Lava Fairy Palace is by no means a casual move made on a whim by the three superior sects. His intentions are profound. Inside the Lava Fairy Palace, there are not only mechanical inheritances and the three superior sect techniques, but also the divine power life thread. As the emperor was on her deathbed, she was still concerned about the affairs of the Southern Bean Kingdom. If our Zhu family has no royal order, we must strive to grasp the divine power life thread. The divine power seeds within the Lava Fairy Palace are the key to controlling the life thread, and we must fight to obtain them. She also said, the supreme authority in the Lava Fairy Palace is divided into three parts. One lies in the position of the Immortal Palace Master, another in the Palace Spirit, the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit, and the last is the Buddha Heart Demon Seal. The first two can be contested for, but the Buddha Heart Demon Seal must not be touched. This seal has an immense background concerning the conflict between the Buddhist and demon realms, carrying a huge amount of karma. Ordinary cultivators and forces who accept this seal will suffer continuous severe depletion of their lifespan, until it's dangerously weakened or even exhausted, bringing about calamities. If in the future, the Zhu family of Southern Bean has no royal order, nor anyone who controls the life thread, the nation will inevitably struggle to maintain its internal situation, with limited lifespan and a difficult national destiny. In such a situation, we must never be greedy for momentary benefits. Accepting the Buddha Heart Demon Seal will bring domestic turmoil, external threats, and rebirth of internal strife, ultimately leading to the fall of the nation and the demise of the rulers, with the foundational efforts going down the drain. Gu Zhen couldn't help but show a worried expression after hearing Zhu Xuanji's narration. The treasure seal must not be taken. If the dragon turtle fire spirit wishes to escape, then we must seize the position of Immortal Palace Master to control the Lava Fairy Palace. Zhu Xuanji looked up, gazing at the broken spherical light shield in the sky. The situation now is even more complex. Not only must we strive for the position of Palace Master, but we must also thwart the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit's jailbreak plan. We do not fully understand how to manipulate the Lava Fairy Palace. Even if we become the Palace Master, it will be difficult to control the entire Lava Fairy Palace well in a short time. Once the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit leaves, the defense of the Lava Fairy Palace, without its presiding spirit, will plummet to rock bottom. The blazing flames will rage, and the tide of demon beasts will be fierce. At that time, the tide of beasts will break through unobstructed, quickly overwhelming the entire Immortal Palace. Unless it's someone at the nascent soul level like Meng Qi, perhaps only then could one use their own power to protect the whole Immortal Palace. We, at Golden Core Cultivation, should not entertain such delusional hopes. Gu Zhen nodded in agreement, his expression grave. Zhu Xuanji paced back and forth with his hands behind his back, then once his thoughts settled, he instructed Gu Zhen. The immediate priority is to search wholeheartedly for the hiding place of the 10,000-li traveling dragon. If we can intercept this mechanical artifact in advance, we will be able to directly foil the dragon turtle fire spirit's escape plans. This will be difficult, Gu Zhen communicated telepathically, explaining. The 10,000-li traveling dragon can become both large and small, and it is undoubtedly highly valued by the dragon turtle fire spirit, so it must be hidden very carefully. In the vast lava fairy palace, searching for such a target is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Zhu Xuanji further instructed him to keep a close eye on the golden furnace ruins. Zhu Xuanji, the ruins of the third and fourth golden furnaces have been blasted beyond recognition, but there are still very small parts that are fused with their surroundings. You'll need to find an opportunity to approach again, excavate the surface, and then refine and restore the previous form. I always feel that there are important clues buried within these third and fourth golden furnaces as well. Gu Zhen felt even more challenged and telepathically said, Brother, the reason we're able to enter the golden furnace ruins this time is due to careful planning. Just when we captured the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator, and when Yang Chanyu's conflict presented a golden opportunity. Even with the profound strategies of the Bukong sect, they wouldn't easily give us another chance even if that part of the golden furnace ruins was destroyed. Zhu Xuanji nodded, acknowledging Gu Zhen's analysis. To break the current predicament, there were essentially two paths. One was to start from objects, that is, the mechanism buildings. In Zhu Xuanji's view, the reason Bukong sect could limit their approach to the golden furnace ruins was mainly due to the 5 elements turret and the command platform. If Zhu Xuanji could decipher the means by which Bukong sect controlled them and make use of demon beasts to enter the golden furnace ruins, then there would be no more obstacles. The other was to start from people, namely Yang Chanyu and Sun Lingtong. However, these two were extremely slippery and hidden within the Lava Fairy Palace, utterly untraceable. This time, it was only after Yang Chanyu was pushed out by the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator that she revealed her traces outside the time of the palace examination. Gu Zhen transmitted his voice. Lately, I have been pondering the current situation, and it has occurred to me that there might be another person who could serve as our breakthrough point. Zhu Xuanji cast a side glance. Oh, do tell. Zhu Zhen said, It's the youthful guest. Previously, the youthful guest teamed up with Han Ming and Sun Lingtong to attack the Ziyang courtyard. Afterward, he took the life-threatening risk to battle Golden Core Qi Bai with his foundation establishment cultivation, and he even managed to forcibly rescue Sun Lingtong. These clues indicate that his accomplishment in mechanical artifacts is quite remarkable. I'm quite suspicious that the youthful guest is likely the person controlling the 5 elements turret and command platform. Zhu Xuanji pursued, Do you have any basis for this suspicion? Zhu Zhen simply said, If Bukong sect has such a mechanism cultivator, why wouldn't they use him? Unless the battle with Qi Bai left the youthful guest severely injured, recuperating all this time. Otherwise, he must be hidden in the depths of the Lava Fairy Palace, constantly monitoring the golden furnace ruins, guarding against our approach. Zhu Xuanji shook his head slightly. I understand. Zhu Zhen continued. The youthful guest had appeared early in the black market, consistently selling a type of mechanical rope named all-purpose ascending and descending rope. This rope is quite popular among the cultivators exploring Fire Persimmon Mountain. Even now, the market and many cultivators' hands still possess the all-purpose ascending and descending ropes. I think, why not collect these mechanical ropes and hand them over to you, elder brother, for inspection? Under elder brother's golden eyes, we should be able to find the important clues about the youthful guest, perhaps even his vulnerabilities. Zhu Xuanji laughed heartily and couldn't help but pat Zhu Zhen on the shoulder. Smart kid, you're truly worthy of having experienced the world for many years. Your thinking is meticulous with unique insights, much stronger than before. Zhu Zhen, who knew Zhu Xuanji quite well, noticed his lack of enthusiasm and couldn't help but ask in confusion, Elder brother, what are you really thinking? Is there something wrong with the lead I've caught? Zhu Xuanji sighed, his expression quite complex. It's not wrong, it's just that I'm afraid I've already guessed the youthful guest's identity. Zhu Zhen's eyes widened in shock. If you've guessed it, why not go and capture him? Suddenly, it dawned on him. If elder brother isn't capturing him, it means he doesn't need to capture him, or perhaps he can't. Could it be? Gu Zhen whirls his head around, instinctively looking towards Ning Jiufan's residence of the Ning family ancestor. Zhu Xuanji remarked with a deep voice. During the previous palace exams, cultivators were allowed to invite outsiders as helpers. However, at Sun Lingtong's side, a mechanism cultivator like the youthful guest never appeared. At that time, I found it strange. With those words, Zhu Xuanji patted Zhu Zhen's shoulder. Of course, that's only my speculation. If you're interested, you could indeed go and collect all-purpose ascending and descending ropes. But I think, once Bukong's sect is exposed, the City Lord's mansion will certainly exhaust all efforts to investigate every clue. Although Meng Qi is stationed at the summit, the acting City Lord Fei Si is also talented. Given his capability, he has probably already collected a batch of all-purpose ascending and descending ropes. If you want to save some effort, you might as well write to him and directly request a batch of mechanical ropes. Zhu Zhen opened his mouth, but in the end he sighed. I understand. After a pause, he sincerely praised, You truly live up to your reputation as my elder brother. Zhu Xuanji smiled bitterly and encouraged. Go on and proceed with the task. Based on my limited understanding of the 3 superior sect techniques masters, this palace exam probably consists of only 3 rounds. The second round of the palace exam is likely nearing its end now. The situation is too tense. With demon beasts raging from outside and Bukong sect causing turmoil within, there are many things we can only prioritize and let go of. If the situation were stable, with a large margin for error, we could pursue every matter. But now, we can only unite with allies in the face of the overwhelming circumstances, conserving energy and time, focusing on one main point. Zhu Zhen felt Zhu Xuanji's helplessness and showed a face full of willingness to learn. I will keep my brother's teachings close to my heart. Zhu Zhen was originally a member of the Southern Bean royal family and shared deep bonds with Zhu Xuanji. He now felt all the more fortunate for having chosen this path to rendezvous with Zhu Xuanji and to be able to contribute to this major affair, assisting his elder brother. With the responsibility given to him, he spared no effort despite the difficulties. Numerous breaches pierced through the light shield of the Lava Fairy Palace, with the outer circle nearly entirely breached and demon beasts roaming freely, while the inner circle still maintained its front lines. Zhu Zhen began his inspection, first abandoning the outer circle, choosing to search within the inner circle. He examined many places thoroughly, but not even a shadow of the 10,000-li traveling dragon was seen. Meanwhile, he did write a letter flying it to Fei Si. Only this time, it was not to request the all-purpose ascending and descending ropes, but to directly inquire about all information related to the youthful guest within the City Lord's mansion. Fei Si cooperated actively. In his view, the youthful guest must be an elite of the Bukong sect, otherwise Qi Bai would not have risked his life to rescue Sun Lingtong after their battle. The Bukong sect was a common enemy for both Zhu Xuanji and Meng Qi. If one were to investigate the Bukong sect, it would not only involve the Zhu family's attention and time, it was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. How could he not cooperate actively? 2 days later, Zhu Zhen came to Zhu Xuanji in a hurry and reported his 2 achievements. The City Lord's mansion, using the Rui sash, found many floating cloud silk threads. Upon investigation, some types of these threads are special products of flying cloud country. Although I have not found any clues about the 10,000-li traveling dragon, I discovered that large groups of cultivators are secretly moving around, trying by all means to contact the dragon turtle fire spirit. After my further investigation, I confirmed these cultivators all come from the Meng family. Zhu Xuanji's brow furrowed tightly. Zhu Zhen's first achievement did not make Zhu Xuanji take much notice. At most, it was just a side note. The second discovery was the key point. Zhu Xuanji briefly pondered and immediately realized. It seems Meng Qi had already known the trick with the dragon turtle fire spirit a long time ago. In that case, he probably has always been holding back, never giving his all to fight against the flame beast tide. Meng Qi, by relying on the method of deduction, had sensed the secret of the dragon turtle fire spirit from the Qi fortune, and had been concealing it until now. Now, Zhu Xuanji, through investigating the second golden furnace, had gone around in a circle and glimpsed a part of the truth about Meng Qi. Very good, worthy of being a tactician from the Meng family. Zhu Xuanji looked up at the heavy clouds above his head. At this moment, his heart was full of anger. These major feudal families. But immediately after, Zhu Xuanji suppressed this anger deep in his heart. He asked Zhu Zhen to continue investigating the 10,000-li traveling dragon, while he himself sent a flying message, contacting Meng Qi, requesting a meeting. Meng Qi acted and responded to Zhu Xuanji, coming to meet with him. Currently, with 2 major nascent soul-level flame demon beasts participating in the beast tide and often appearing, the Lava Fairy Palace had almost become an isolated island. For Golden Core level Zhu Xuanji, trying to enter or leave the Lava Fairy Palace on his own meant taking risks. Only with Meng Qi's protection could he leave safely. When Zhu Xuanji met with Meng Qi, he acted as if he had not discovered Meng Qi's small movements. With a serious expression, he started saying the situation was dire, that the dragon turtle fire spirit harbored ill intentions, wanting to flee. Meng Qi naturally showed a shocked expression, but in his heart, he had an epiphany, guessing that Zhu Xuanji might already know about his tricks. Zhu Xuanji knew about Meng Qi's small movements, yet acted ignorant. Meng Qi guessed Zhu Xuanji already knew about his small movements. He too acted ignorant. Both parties knew the other was performing and were willing to continue the act. Zhu Xuanji, now the volcano is erupting, danger is like eggs piled up. With one misstep, the entire immortal city and countless citizens could face catastrophe. Dragon turtle fire spirit bombarding fire persimmon mountain is trying to use the overall situation to pressure us, creating a possibility for it to escape prison. Starting today, we shall implement the locked void forbidden zone, strictly forbidding all transmission methods within 10 miles. Activate the observing heaven and earth ability within the array to mark all nascent soul-level existences, to prevent nascent soul demon beasts from suddenly attacking fire persimmon immortal city. Meng Qi showed hesitation. Locked void forbidden zone and observing heaven and earth are the city protection formation's measures of last resort. Using them prematurely will result in significant spirit stone consumption, leading to a dangerous state of weakness. Lord Zhu, how did you determine it's time to use such measures? Zhu Xuanji smiled slightly, took out a royal order and actively displayed it. I am not required to explain to you. Lord Meng, you only need to cooperate. Meng Qi's pupils shrank slightly. Even at nascent soul level, he could not challenge a royal order. Meng family was one of the pillars of southern Bean country, and Meng Qi was a court minister. Naturally, there were many constraints, with the hold in the hands of the Zhu family's royal family. The royal order in Zhu Xuanji's hand was authentic. Seeing the token was as good as seeing the monarch. Meng Qi did not wish to defy inside. My views differ from Lord Zhu, but since you insist and brought out a royal order, I shall follow the command. However, once this affair at the Lava Fairy Palace is over, I must report the details. I hope Lord Zhu Xuanji will not blame me. Of course, Zhu Xuanji said, and with the royal order in his hand officially activated, it instantly turned to dust, scattering with the wind. The royal order was extremely precious and held strong effectiveness. Once used, it would be expended. But Zhu Xuanji's arrangements were meant to try to block off the 10,000-li traveling dragon at all costs. He knew all too well that triggering the city protection formation early and using up a lot of resources carried great risk, but he had no choice but to do it. Regarding the 10,000-li traveling dragon, Zhu Xuanji did not mention a word to Meng Qi. Before, Meng Qi concealed the secret of the dragon turtle fire spirit from him. Now, Zhu Xuanji hid the existence of the 10,000-li traveling dragon from Meng Qi. Achieving open and honest, wholehearted cooperation between the two was not impossible, just exceedingly difficult. As Zhu Xuanji had anticipated, the second round of the palace examination had already entered its final stages. After the 27th question, it was announced over. The ranking list of the second round of the palace examination was arranged on the spot. None of the cultivators were surprised. In their usual participation in the palace examination, they also carefully calculated. Because for the majority of the time, 10 arenas were transparently visible, and there were cultivators resting, standing below for an overall observation. Hence, the outcomes of most of the arena battles could be verified. Even if it was not possible to investigate, based on the gap in strength between both sides, they could roughly predict the outcomes. What the cultivators did not know was how the second round of the palace examination results were combined with the current overall ranking. How much the second round of the palace examination results accounted for in the total score, and specifically how they were calculated, was unclear to them. The truly nervous moment had arrived. The ranking of the overall results had just been freshly released. First place, Zhu Xuanji. Second place, Shazhang Jun. Third place, Zheng Danlian. Fourth place, a cultivator from the Meng family. Fifth place, Zheng Xuangu. Sixth place, Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor. Seventh place, Ning Jiufan. Eighth place, Yang Chaniu. Ninth place, the Entry Standard. 10th place, Zhou Nanjiang. 11th place, Ning Zhuo. 12th place, Meng Chong. 13th place, Song Fuli. As stated in the second round of the palace examination, another 10 were eliminated, leaving only 13 to enter the third round of the palace examination. When the results came out, the expressions of the cultivators in the main hall's square varied greatly. Those who did not pass looked solemn, while those who did relaxed, exhaling their foul breath, no longer as tense. Upon carefully studying this ranking, one would make many discoveries. The first place was Zhu Xuanji, which was expected by everyone. Zhu Xuanji had already been first in achievements, and he had the most victories in the second round of the palace test. The second place was Shazhang Jun, which was also understandable. After all, in the previous achievement ranking, Shazhang Jun was among the top. This time, he performed very well in the second round of the palace test, only losing more often to Zhu Xuanji. The Zheng family's 2 golden cores were ranked 3rd and 5th, living up to the Zheng family's reputation for focusing on artifact refining and holding many advantages in creating mechanisms. Representing the Meng family, there was only the 4th place external aid cultivator, A, and the 12th place Qi refinement genius Meng Chong, both appearing somewhat fatigued. The 6th place was taken by the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor, which surprised no one. Purple Dawn Pavilion, Taking Palace, these were all super sex, and since they had sent a Golden Core True Inheritor to compete for the position of Palace Master, they must have selected their candidate carefully. From the achievement of the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor, one could infer that if the true disciple of Taking Palace had not died, he would probably also be on the ranking list. In this respect, many cultivators on the list had to thank Zheng Danlian. Ning Jiufan and Ning Zhuo both made the list. The same was true for the Entry Standard and Yang Chaniu. In the overall achievement rankings, the Bukong sect and the Ning family were not far apart. Some cultivators, upon seeing this, sighed at the great achievement Ning Zhuo had made. In the latter part of the second round, he severely wounded the Golden Blood Battle Ape and achieved a great victory, causing Sun Lingtong, who had entered at the standard level, to plummet in the rankings, ultimately only managing to scramble to the 9th place. Zhou Nanjiang fell to the 10th place. This was a bit embarrassing. From this point of view, the Zhou family was probably the one that suffered the most in the second round of the palace test. Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan were both eliminated, leaving only one lone Golden Core survivor. In fact, many Golden Core cultivators were eliminated. For example, Zhu Zhen from the royal Zhu family. He also sensed the outcome of his elimination earlier, withdrew in advance, and didn't invest energy in the palace test, but actively completed the tasks Zhu Xuanji had entrusted to him. Similarly, the 2 Golden Core True Inheritors from the Cloud Merchants were also brushed off the list. Among the Meng family's Golden Cores, many were eliminated. The second round of the palace examination revolved around mechanisms and suppressed all cultivators' cultivation levels to the Qi refining level, reducing the differences in cultivation to the extreme. Overall, the majority were Golden Core level cultivators, with only one, Sun Lingtong at the Foundation Establishment cultivator, and only 2 Qi refinement realm cultivators, Ning Zhuo and Meng Chong. Meng Chong possessed immortal aptitude, which was abundantly demonstrated in the second round of the palace test. On the arena, many of his opponents conceded voluntarily, and the Golden Core cultivators of the Meng family did the same. From this perspective, perhaps it was the support for Meng Chong that led to the significant depletion of the Meng family's Golden Core power. The ranking of Ning Zhuo actually surpassed that of Meng Chong by some margin. The cultivators were shocked at first glance, but they quickly came to terms with it. Ning Zhuo shone brightly in the second round of the palace test. The severe injury he inflicted on the golden blood battle ape made a deep impression. The 5 elements pawns he created seemed unremarkable at first glance, but they were balanced, without obvious weaknesses in any area. There were not a few who lost to Ningzhuo, and anyone who had competed against him could truly appreciate that this talented youth was not simple. Considering that Ningzhuo's innate talent had not been tested, and even the immortal aptitude Meng Chong was suppressed, everyone's imagination about Ningzhuo's potential increased manifold. The Ning family has produced an excellent junior. Although there is a deep contradiction between the main and branch lines of the Ning family, Ningzhuo has already caught the attention of Ning Jiyufan, and his future is boundless. He has innate talent. In decades or a century, he will undoubtedly be an important senior figure in Fire Persimmon Immortal City. Ningzhuo's reputation soared. Yet what the public did not know was that Ningzhuo's true ranking was even higher. Just one day later, the transportation circle brought the 13 cultivators back to the square in front of the main hall once again. The 3rd round of the palace test begins. Boom. In the astonished gazes of the crowd, the doors of the main hall slowly opened for the first time in hundreds of years. The entrance was filled with the 5-element spiritual energy, weaving into a colorful vortex of spiritual energy. A powerful force erupted from the vortex, drawing all the cultivators inside. Suddenly sucked in at the grand entrance of the main hall, Ningzhuo's vision drastically changed into a swirl of 5 colors. The intense feeling of weightlessness and dizziness assaulted him, a sensation Ningzhuo recognized. Previously, when Sun Lingtong had used the teleportation art to transfer him, it was this very feeling. Ningzhuo suddenly landed on his feet, and the dazzling 5-colored spectacle before his eyes disappeared abruptly. He immediately went on full alert, scanning his surroundings. Red copper walls, scorching temperatures, and a golden ceiling. This familiar scenario made him mistakenly think he was soul entering the Immortal Palace again. But unlike the soul entering Immortal Palace, this time Ningzhuo's spirit had not been pulled by a life-hanging thread. Both body and spirit had entered together. New information was transmitted into his heart. Lava Fairy Palace 3rd Round Hall Trial. Cultivators will explore the secret pavilion of transition, accepting unique challenges in each mechanical room, winning corresponding rewards. In the end, the one who finds the correct path, breaks out of the secret pavilion of transition, enters the main hall, and sits upon the throne, will become the Lava Fairy Palace's Palace Master. Please note, mechanical rooms vary in difficulty. Please note, during the exploration of the secret pavilion of transition and the process of stepping foot into the Immortal Palace main hall, cultivators' cultivation levels will be suppressed to the Qi refining realm. Please note, use of personal magic artifacts, elixir pills, etc., is forbidden. Violators will be eliminated. Please note, cultivators are allowed to use various props provided within the secret pavilion, allowed to use spells. Spell power will be suppressed to the Qi refining level. Please note, mechanical artifacts within the trial stages can be used unconditionally during exploration. Please note, every accumulation of 36 explorations in the secret pavilion of transition will lead to a minor transition. Every accumulation of 108 will lead to a major transition. Please note, cultivators may at any time initiate inquiry for the list and choose to surrender. Once surrendering, they will be immediately teleported from the scene. Please note, every change in the trial list will be promptly notified to all participants. A long string of information made Ningzhuo stop in his tracks, pondering carefully before he started to take action. He looked around and found himself in the first mechanical room, plain and unremarkable, save for a pedestal in the center. The pedestal was covered with a column of light, upon which a mechanical artifact was placed. It was a wooden ring. The circle was thick and inlaid with 18 diamond-shaped crystals. The crystals shimmered with a bluish-purple light. A slight change in viewing angle would make the shimmer transform, quite exquisite. Hangman's noose! For a moment, Ningzhuo had the illusion of being brought back to the past. He approached with caution, on high alert, using various spells to detect, and after finding no traps, he reached out and took the hangman's noose. The light column that enshrouded the pedestal immediately dissipated, and the entire pedestal slowly sank until it was completely integrated into the floor. Finally, the floor on both sides closed towards the middle, sealing tightly with not even a crack showing. Ningxiu stood in place, looking left and right, keeping watch for a while, but no movement occurred. That's it, Ningxiu was surprised. In another secret pavilion of transition. Wah! Sun Lingtong ran frantically. Behind him, a Foundation establishment-level flame-stepping lizard charged like a bull, relentlessly pursuing. The room was limited in size, so Sun Lingtong was forced to jump up and down, sometimes resorting to running on walls. His legs moved as if they were wheeling. The flame-stepping lizard suddenly opened its mouth, expelling a string of fire. The tip of the fire string touched Sun Lingtong's buttocks, igniting his pants straight away. Sun Lingtong had no choice but to continue running at full strength while trying to pat down the flames on his smoking behind. In another secret pavilion of transition, Ning Jiufan was pierced by over a dozen spears, pinned against a wall. With a ferocious expression, ignoring the intense pain, he pulled out the spears one by one. Unable to access elixir pills from his storage waist belt, he resorted to using the frost technique from the Ning family, freezing himself to urgently heal his wounds. Ningxiu carefully stepped into the second secret pavilion. With an arrangement identical to the previous one, there was another pedestal in the room. A beam of light shone down, highlighting the mechanical artifact atop the pedestal very clearly. Ningxiu cautiously approached, took the artifact, but it turned out to be a blood conversion pool. This mechanical component can dissolve blooded life forms into countless droplets of blood. Combined with the blood oil bottle, it can allow the mechanical puppet to draw sustenance from battle. However, my precision-designed golden blood battle ape, Dasheng, has no space inside for such a massive blood conversion pool part. For the moment, the golden blood battle ape, Dasheng, was still with Sun Lingtong. Ningxiu needed to meet up with Sun Lingtong first before he could retrieve Yuan Dasheng. Sai, I hope I run into Boss Sun soon. With the storage waist belt unusable, Ningxiu had no choice but to carry the bulky blood conversion pool as he left. Every direction, even the ceiling above and the center of the floor below, had gates leading out. Ningxiu randomly chose a door and pushed it open to leave. In Shazhangjun's secret pavilion, there was just one door. A vast door. The door panel was filled with a large number of wooden blocks, all of which were interlocked and constrained within the doorframe. Shazhangjun held the doorknob in one hand, needing to expend mana and spirit, shifting these wooden blocks so that the inscriptions on each block were arranged appropriately in succession. The overall text needed to properly form the entire demon-infused bloodline technique. But the problem was, I absolutely have no idea what the demon-infused bloodline technique is, Shazhangjun roared in his heart. At this moment, he regretted why he had not participated in the Golden Core melee within the Fire Persimmon Immortal City to vie for the demon's skill true scripture. Even if it was a fake scripture, there were still some true gains to be had. Or, if someone had sold me some of the demon's scripture content during the second round of the palace trials, that would have been fine, too. At least I could have inferred a lot from it and not be stuck here now. This was the second secret pavilion that Shazhangjun had entered. A huge door blocked his way forward. After struggling for a while, Shazhangjun, with a face slightly turned pale, gave up voluntarily. My strength has been suppressed at the Qi refinement realm. Not only the total amount of mana and spirit, but even the recovery capabilities are limited to the Qi refinement realm. I can't afford to lose too much in front of this door. I have to be on guard at all times in case someone else enters this secret pavilion and a battle breaks out between us. Before leaving, Shazhangjun took one more wistful glance at the door. He had a feeling in his heart that there must be significant benefits in the room behind the door. What a pity I'm not a trial disciple. The first and second rounds of the palace trials show that the masters from the three sects treat their own disciples very well. There were two external passages in this secret pavilion. One was the large door and the other a smaller door. The smaller door was the very path through which Shazhangjun had entered. He sighed, opened the small door, and went back to the first secret pavilion he had entered. This time, he chose another small door and left. He was still not resigned and silently memorized the route in his heart. Ningxiu had just left his third secret pavilion. From this secret pavilion, he had acquired elixir pills that could rapidly restore mana after ingesting them. He had just pushed open the door and entered the fourth secret pavilion when the whole room suddenly began to shake. The shaking was not violent, and a series of mechanical noises came, reverberating throughout the room. The mechanical noise continued for more than a dozen breaths and then stopped abruptly. During this time, the room kept vibrating. As the mechanical noise ceased, the room calmed down. Ha! A kung fu puppet of the qi refining level took a stance and waited for Ningzhuo with great caution. Finally, something different, said Ningzhuo, his eyes lighting up as he stepped forward. The kung fu doll charged at him. Ningzhuo was well aware of his limitations and immediately retreated, using spells to attack from a distance. The kung fu doll got increasingly bound by the rapidly growing vines. Demon-infused blood muscle. Ningzhuo walked up to it leisurely, using his own essence blood to perform the demon-infused bloodline technique, forcibly subduing the doll. Before I get the golden blood battle ape dashing back, I'll make do with this. Ningzhuo left his fourth secret pavilion, the demonized kung fu doll following his steps closely. This time, he chose to return the same way he came. However, upon opening the small door he came through, he entered an unfamiliar room instead. This confirmed one of his speculations. It was once said in the information that for every 36 secret pavilions explored, there would be one minor transition, and for every 108 explored, there would be a major transition. So this is the so-called minor transition. The secret pavilion of transitions connections are all shuffled, rendering the routes I remembered completely useless. I have explored up to the fourth secret pavilion, and there are 13 cultivators participating in the second round of the palace trials. Some have explored fewer secret pavilions than I have, so the total number of secret pavilions everyone has explored just accumulated to 36. Upon reaching this number, the mechanism was activated, and a minor transition occurred. If this is the case for the minor transition, what about the major transition? Ningzhu racked his brains, mulling over his thoughts. To truly understand the rules of the third round of the palace trials, he needed to explore for a while. The dragon turtle fire spirit closely monitored the secret pavilion of transition. This was an intricately constructed mechanical building, the ultimate line of defense of the main hall of the Lava Fairy Palace. The challenges set up by the masters from the three sects were realized through this particular and functional mechanical building. And the various trial challenges were only making use of a fraction of this secret pavilion's power. The dragon turtle fire spirit was the sole spectator. Overseeing the entire situation, it immediately summarized the fortunes of various cultivators after the first minor transition was triggered. Some fared well, others poorly. Some racked their brains, while others were still being hunted. The ones with the most gains are definitely Meng Chong and Ningzhu. Both have yielded results in every secret pavilion. Currently, the mechanical artifacts they've accumulated are equally impressive, firmly occupying the top tier. In the top tier, there were only Meng Chong and Ningzhu. The dragon turtle fire spirit's expression grew serious. The route selection in the secret pavilion of transition actually tests a cultivator's lifespan. The more abundant and robust the lifespan, the better and more profitable the routes a cultivator chooses, and vice versa. Meng Chong has immortal aptitude, born with a strong lifespan. Ningzhu is showing a similar performance. He possesses no measured innate talent. Could he too have immortal aptitude? The dragon turtle fire spirit inevitably speculated as such. But that's not right. If he were of immortal aptitude, how could he live such an unsmooth and suppressive life for 16 years in the fire persimmon immortal city? That is definitely not the performance of a lifespan belonging to a superior talent. The first minor turn, the second minor turn. Cultivators gradually explored the mechanism of the palace exam, gaining much understanding about the secret pavilion of transition. Zhu Xuanji moved deftly, bypassing mechanical traps while contemplating. From the rules of the palace exam, the way to win is to find the correct path, leave this mechanical maze, step into the main hall, and take the throne. But in reality, there are many mechanical secret pavilions, and once everyone accumulates 36 attempts, the order is shuffled. The paths previously taken are completely changed, starting from scratch. So, on one hand, I must rush through as quickly as possible. If others pass 3 pavilions and I can pass 6, it signifies that my probability of finding the correct path is significantly higher than that of the others. On the other hand, I need to eliminate as many other competitors as possible. Ideally, only I would remain. all 36 exploration opportunities would be mine alone. At that thought, Zhu Xuanji felt a realization strike him. This proves that within those 36 attempts, there must be a path that allows me to break out of the secret pavilion of transition and enter the main hall. Cultivators who could enter the third round of the palace exam were almost all highly astute. Many, like Zhu Xuanji, realized the true nature of this round of the exam. It seemed like finding the correct path involved a great deal of luck. But in fact, it required eliminating others to gain more opportunities for exploration to increase the probability of escaping the secret pavilion of transition. Inside a secret pavilion, a battle had just ended. Xianxia Jun, with his hands behind his back, stood at the center of the battlefield. Beside him, several mechanical artifacts lay around, some smashed, others broken, and yet others sealed, unable to move. Xianxia Jun, an elite from the complete book pavilion with extensive knowledge and a versatile and intricate array of strategies, was among the top cultivators. He had won the fight, yet there was no trace of joy on his face. The situation is not favorable to me. In the previous rankings, I was always second place. This makes me too conspicuous, a major threat in the eyes of others. Xianxia Jun always had a clear list of the palace exam rankings in his mind. Including myself, there are 13 cultivators, but not 13 camps. Just 4. The largest force is led by Zhu Xuanji of the Fire Persimmon Immortal Cities Cultivator Family Alliance. Next are the City Lord's Mansion's Meng family and the Bukong sect. The last camp consists of me, Song Fury, and the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor. We are quite scattered. When other people run into each other, they might not fight and likely will join forces due to their camps. This meant Xianxia Jun was likely to face against 2 or even more enemies. More troubling was that everyone's cultivation level had been suppressed to the qi refining level, making it difficult for Xianxia Jun to take on 2 at once. Xianxia Jun quickly cleared the battlefield, dismantling many parts from the mechanical puppets. He did not possess techniques like the demon-infused bloodline technique and couldn't directly demonize mechanical puppets like Ning Zhu. The second secret pavilion I explored previously was a place specifically for assembling mechanisms and had many suitable mechanical tools. I'll go back there, use these spoils of war to assemble a mechanical puppet to accompany me. Xianxia Jun chose to return the way he came. Unable to use storage equipment, he still had a temporary storage spell which he cast. With empty hands, he pushed open the small door. The next moment, however, he froze in place. Zhu Xuanji! Xianxia Jun internally exclaimed in shock upon seeing the cultivator in the room. Zhu Xuanji noticed him immediately as well. Both were on full alert, the atmosphere suddenly tense. Lord Zhu, you are the first fellow Taoist I've encountered since the third round of the palace exam, Xianxia Jun said with a smile, staying vigilant while trying his best to ease the tension. What slightly relieved him was that he didn't see any other cultivators. In this room, it was just him and Zhu Xuanji. This scenario was not the worst possible. Zhu Xuanji also smiled at Xianxia Jun, and after a brief exchange, Xianxia Jun quickly took his leave. Zhu Xuanji hesitated for a moment, but ultimately he did not take action, allowing Xianxia Jun to leave. Judging from the second round of the palace exam, Xianxia Jun's abilities were strong, and his methods were numerous, marking him as an all-rounder. This could be considered a feature of the great power of the complete book pavilion, as they housed numerous classics, making their cultivators generally well-rounded without obvious weaknesses. Pity, if I could have encountered my own people, we could have advanced and retreated together. Encountering Xianxia Jun, who was alone, would have been an opportunity to act and eliminate a major threat early on. Zhu Xuanji regretted internally. Alone and facing Xianxia Jun, the outcome of a battle was uncertain, and the prospects unclear. If he could use his full power at the golden core level, he might have in fact taken action. No choice, the secret pavilion of transition constrained his power to the qi refining level, making Zhu Xuanji extremely cautious and reluctant to initiate combat easily. Still, I must meet up with others as soon as possible. Zhu Xuanji lifted his foot, continuing his exploration. Sun Lingtong furrowed her brow deeply. The Lava Fairy Palace is indeed powerful, even suppressing my marriage arrangement. Before the third round of the palace exam, Sun Lingtong had received intelligence from Ning Zhu about the content of the palace exam. She had shared it with Yang Chanyu. The two planned to use the marriage arrangement on them for sensing each other to meet up as quickly as possible. However, the actual attempt tasted the flavor of failure. Ah, where exactly is our young master? I hope he doesn't run into others too early. The Meng family's golden core cultivator hastened his steps.